Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining again with me on another episode of Finding Freedom Farm. So this morning we've got the regular chores. We're going to go and milk Elsie and all that kind of stuff. However, we are going to do a little bit of a different thing today, where we've been moving our cows around kind of in a rotational grazing fashion, and I'm going to put them back in the back area with the pond because we're about to go on a little trip. And I don't want to burden someone else by saying, hey, can you come over and move my cows every few days? So I'm just going to put them back there. The people that cut the hay didn't cut back there because it was too risky for them. And so there's plenty of grass back there. They can just stay back there for like a month or so. And then when we come back from our trip, then we will, start the rotational grazing again. So I'm going to show you kind of how we've contained them with one wire, and then I'm gonna go and let them out before we milk, and then we're going to milk, and then later on after breakfast maybe we'll go and move them to the other pasture. It's a gorgeous day out here in the pasture. It's a bit sunny, so I'm sure it's gonna get warmed up. Let me show you what I've got going on here. So we went through a few iterations with this with these cows and containing them. At first, they wouldn't be contained by just one strand. And it took two strands. One up on the top, one on a little bit lower, and then that contained them. However, I think I found the secret. It has to be at the right height in order to contain them, because they don't want to step over this, and they can't go under it. And so, they must go through it, You ever heard that, read that book about the brown bear, and going on a bear hunt and all this kind of stuff? Anyway, man. But yeah, so I'm going to let these cows out because they've been really trying to destroy one of those hay bales over there, and I don't like that. So we're going to put them in another area. We'll get all the bales picked up. They're so friendly. Look at Leroy right here. Such good cows, such good cows. Let me let them out. Right here. You want to make sure when you're dealing with electric fence to always turn the fence off before you touch it. Otherwise you could get an exciting, electrifying jolt of fun. Or not fun. Freedom! I'll come out a little bit later, cows, and take you over to the pond, okay? I was talking to a buddy the other day, and it was about 10 o'clock in the morning, and we were just finishing our breakfast. And some of you might say, oh my goodness, that's crazy. 10 o'clock finishing up breakfast? And, I agree that most of the time we try to finish it up before 10 o'clock. However, sometimes we just get a little bit delayed. And he said, I thought that, look at that, they're coming. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Boy, whenever you have a bull running around you, it kind of makes you excited. Anyway, so he said, he's like, man, I thought that on the farm, you wake up at before it gets bright outside, you go and you do all your morning chores, and then you have breakfast done by 7 o'clock, then you go out to, this, that, and the other. And I said, well, all those morning chores, like feeding the chickens and letting them out and, taking care of watering the cows and stuff, all that is automated. All that's automated because we're about finding freedom, not finding bondage. And so if we had to do all those things every day, and it forced us to wake up at a certain time and do things at a certain time, then that would not be freedom in my book. That would be bondage. But because we've automated certain things on the farm, we can have freedom. We can take a slow morning if we want. I think that particular morning, my son asked me to play a game with him before we went out to milk. I said, what's more important, milking or playing a game with my kids? So we played a game, and then we went and milked. I love freedom, and I love finding different ways to automate life. So that way, the daily tasks and the chores aren't a burden to us, but they lift us and they provide opportunities for us that make us better. Oh, That view is so awesome. Look at that. Look at those cows out there. Okay, so we're just washing her up right now to milk her. Good job, Elsie. Good job, helper. Okay, you gonna get some initial squirts out? Alrighty, now we're gonna milk. Thank you, Elsie, for your great service. Hey, Elsie. Okay, I'm gonna pour you a little bit. I'm gonna pour you a little bit more food, okay? Look at that. So we've milked her. He's just finishing up, getting whatever else he can. I think I've got enough for the family. What a deal. My helpers went in. I think Billy Bob, this cute boy right here, maybe has stepped on just a gentle step on my youngest helper. But look at how cute Gomer is. Gomer's so cute. This is Cece, Gomer's mom. Let me see, how's your... Yeah, you're probably drinking, or he's probably drinking all of that. We'll have to train you a little bit more later. Also, you saw in the previous video where we had the electric milker. Well, I don't think those are the right size of teacup suckers. And so the company, Handtop, sent me, or they're sending me, it's supposed to get here today, a slightly smaller size that'll fit better. So we'll have to test that out. Yeah, so I left to go to a little parade in this small town. Is so awesome. So they open up town square, and then which is like a gazebo in the middle of town, and then they have all the kids dress up and we just walk around in a parade. But while we were gone, Leroy found his way back in with the mamas. So I'm going to lure him out with this bucket of feed right here. And then I'm going to walk him over, put him in with the other girls, and then I'm going to walk him back to the pond. That worked out pretty good. Now we've got Leroy and the bucket. He's really excited. I'm going to let him in with the other girls and walk him back to the pond. And just like that, we got him. Look how happy they are with all this tall grass. Maybe it's a blessing those people cutting the hay didn't see it. Who knows? We'll see. Party on. Find freedom in your life. You know, one of the reasons I moved them back there by the pond is to create freedom so I don't have to depend on somebody else to come over and make sure that their water thing's working and make sure they didn't get out of their little pen and make sure to move them, you know, every couple days. I don't want that for somebody else. You know, it's tough enough to ask a friend to say, hey, can you come over and make sure that things look all right every few days when you're gone. But to strap lots of work onto somebody, even if they say, oh, it doesn't bother us, or, you know, whatever the case is, I don't want to do that to somebody. So this is what we've done, and I think it'll be great. Boy, it sure is glorious. I mean, look at these hay bales. I love it. The kids were out here. I put them up on a hay bale, and I'd never been on one of these hay bales, so I climbed up there too with them, and we just cheered, and it was fun. Life on the farm is great.